What's going on, Storytellers? It's Joshua Faulkner, and today I'm going to be giving you my review and first thoughts as I watched Stranger Things Season 2 for the very first time just recently. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this season. There will be spoilers, so click away if you just haven't watched the show already, as I am experienced the show for the first time as well. And overall, make sure to like this video and subscribe to get more of Stranger Things and Marvel content coming this month. Then, starting off with the Stranger Things Season 2, overall, I highly enjoyed it in the general sense where it was going, taking the kids and all these adults with the show. And just overall, with the disappearance of 11 within the finale of the last season, just knowing where she is now with Hopper raising her, the direction they took with that makes sense for what it's going for, and just the exploration as they go more into with the kids, Dustin, Will, and all these others, and Will having the trauma from being in the Upside Down and having these now memories, just being a certain exploration into having different visions of what is going on inside the mind of the Mind Slayer and these other things, which introduces the Mind Slayer and the characters we're getting with that, and Joyce being in a new relationship with Bob, and just the exploration with that is just really enjoyable. What the character brings to the table, he's not like an A-tier character list, but he always is well intended with everything he says, everything he does to help out the Byers family, and just what they have going in with that is just really good. That I highly enjoyed Bob's character for and his exploration, and just in the ideas that they explore with Will's trauma and what he's going through, and ending up trying to fight off the Mind Slayer, as we learn they call later, and just ending up getting sucked into his body and being controlled, and essentially being the spy later on, but also being the spy for the Mind Slayer and the Demogorgon is absolutely astounding what they did with the season. And adding Mad Max into the show, and Billy, her brother, being such an abused kid by his father, and you see a little bit of that and explains more of his character and his tensions, where his background is, how he has grown up as his culture, and Max being the rebellious kid as well, sort of in her own way against her brother, because her brother's always ordering her around, and her relationship with Lucas does work, and it was a little upsetting getting Dustin let down between the two, as he was starting to have feelings for her as well. But overall, Lucas and Max really worked well as the chemistry builds up between the two with these characters, as Lucas was ultimately the one that revealed everything that was going on. Max feeling always let out of the group, as she should be, and just what is all going on with the ideas explored within this season, and the Demogorgons that return now in full flesh, and having that polygon that just was such an interesting exploration, with Dustin having adopted him as a new pet, but then they actually later on in episode 6 they killed this guy. Yep, I was shocked by that what they're actually doing, his cover up. He had to tell his mom. It's absolutely crazy what this episode had to offer, and just with the exploration, all with exploring more of Eleven's past, as she's locked into Hopper's house. He's overprotective with where she needs to do and what she needs to wear, and everything around that just makes sense for his character, as he's a little more aggressive in being a policeman and just wanting to be protective over her. But her exploration as she goes, finds her mother, and finds out she's named Jane, and and finding her sister as well. That was an interesting arc that wasn't huge to the show overall, but I did enjoy quite a bit of that exploration, and how her sister was the opposite type, sort of, in the way that she's learning to kill. She's learning to get revenge on Oliver and trying to train 11 in the same way, bringing the sisters back together as they were raised in the same nursing place in the lab, and just the trauma behind that as well. Getting to learn more about 11's past, or Jane in this case, that it's just really intriguing the way they went about all of these ideas within the show, leading 11 back home to Hawkins and protecting everyone, and Jonathan and Nancy becoming closer rather than with the other guy. That I just really enjoyed the difference that I did not expect to find, but it made more sense for Nancy to be closer to Jonathan, especially with the way they built this up. Jonathan and Nancy going about and exposing with the conspiracy theorists and being able to put the puzzles together, not being too extreme with what they were exposing from the scientist lab, because then no one will believe and no one wants to feel unsafe, especially in Hawkins. And so just the way they went about changing the things, lightening it a bit, watering the story down, just made for such a great story. But it was tragic in the same way that they finally realized that Barb was actually dead, and her parents finding all that news out by the end of the episode, or the end of the season. And just the way the final battle went out, the last episode taking place in Joy's house and going about having to exercise basically get an exorcist to get the Mind Slayer out of Will, and then 11 closing the gate was absolutely insane. And their chemistry that builds up even more between Mike and 11 as they get together as well, and then almost everyone getting a girlfriend besides Dustin, unfortunately, became so much greater that I actually highly enjoyed season 2 for possibly maybe even more than season 1, but we'll have to see as I think more over these thoughts and as I finish these seasons with season 3 and 4 that I will be catching up with. So that's just my personal thoughts and recap on Stranger Things Season 2. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of my review and what your thoughts on this season was. Was it the worst or was it the best of the seasons that you've seen so far? No future spoilers for Season 3 or 4, please, down in the comments below. But make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.